Go to my website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. What I'm going to give you now is an easy alternate picking sequence. And when I say easy, nothing when it comes to alternate picking in the beginning is very easy. But the harder part of alternate picking is the string shift, which most people who practiced alternate picking know already. But so if we can design sequences in the beginning that has few string shifts, then we can actually, because there's a principle of the inlet when it comes to alternate picking, that if you have something hard to do within the technique, the more distance you have in between when it comes to time, in between you have to do that hard thing, the easier it becomes magically. It's just the way it is. So if I have to do string shifts all the time, it's going to be vastly harder than if I have a good break in between. So this sequence will actually give you a ton of breaks. So it's a really cool sequence to begin with when you're practicing alternate picking. So let's have a look at it. It's a really cool melodic sequence, and it's easy to play fast. Easy, again, is a relative term when it comes to alternate picking, but it's one of the easier. So let's look into it. Basically, we have, in the beginning, we have a quick string shift, but when we play the sequence in a loop, we have a great deal of time in between them. So you just start by, in the key of C major here, we have notes in the first position that I'm going to use here, in the 12th, 13th, and 15th fret here, and we have that on both the B string and the E string, so the 2 top strings here. Then I'm going to move down to another position, and we have the notes in the 10th, the 12th, and the 13th fret here on both strings. So we have a symmetrical shape here that's really easy to work with in the beginning. So let's try it out. We play. Let me just, for the ones who are very fast out there, let me just play the sequence, and then you might pick it up already. That's it, then you can fast forward. Then I just go down to another position. But let's look at it. We have 3 notes here, 12, 13, and 15 on the first. We start with a downstroke. And then we go to the next string already, the high E string. Right? We pick that, the first note. Then we pick the 13th fret and the 12th fret again. So we basically go up and down there from the first note to the second. Right? And what we do from there is just play down the scale. We pick the top note and play 6 notes down. Right? So just repeat it, just understand the sequence logically instead of having tabs. So you go, right, that's the first one, 3 notes on the first, and then on the new string, ba da da, and then you play the whole 6-note shape down from the top note. So slowly. Since this sequence begins and ends on the same note, we have to move it in order to not get 2 notes in a row, which you can have totally. Right? But let's just move it. Now you play the same sequence there, I'm just going to do it. Right? Da 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 dee da do do do. Same, new frets, same combination of notes. And if you feel frustrated, if this is too fast for you, wait, stop, then stop the video. Just catch the first couple of notes, then practice those until you can remember them. Oh, those are the first 3 notes, right? Then you go on and say, okay, what's the next? Oh, stop it, stop, and take that. Then you practice this until you can remember it. And then you say, okay, what's the next? And it says, 6 notes down, cool. That's the way to keep out of overwhelm. Because then now you have it in your body, you can remember it, and then you can easily add something more instead of trying to consume the whole thing at once. So this is the sequence. And you can just go back and forth playing the same sequence in 2 different positions, right? And the cool thing is, if you look at the pick here, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes before we go to the new string and play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes before we make a string shift. So instead of going, for instance, where you just play 6 notes up and you have a string shift for every third note, we have twice as long in between the string shifts, which makes them easier to do magically. Right? And then just keeping on, playing it perfectly, program your brain with perfect repetitions, don't make a lot of mistakes. Then we can do it in the opposite direction as well. We can play down. It's, again, a really cool exercise. You have to do this, which is a bit more, feels a little bit different than going, this seems to be easier for some reason, but this, going from top and then to middle and up again, seems a little bit harder than, but just, deal with it. Just get over it. Just play and practice it. And the harder it is, the cooler it is to learn, because then you can add it to your vocabulary of what you can do when you play. So let's just play that slowly. I'm not going to go into detail around it. Again. And then play it in another position. Only practice 2 positions in the beginning, then move around, take into... And then you can start moving across the neck, right? Then you can start going from one sequence to another. You can do that in the same position. You can take the inversion of that same sequence and play it. And then play the... in the same place, and have fun combining it in every possible way you can come up with.